Hello, this is Andy Graham of hoboontheroad.com. Just got through doing my morning work. I suppose you could call this work too because I'm making a video. I need to figure out a way to get my hair to dry faster. I'm not going to use a hair dryer. I'm just joking. Okay. I know some of you are going to get really angry at me because I'm wanting to start a membership thing. And, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to charge $25 for people. This hammock's not exactly making me my day. We're going to charge $25, and it's more or less administrative costs and ways to fund the site, create the members. But the goal is we want to make sure that only real people can influence your decisions. We don't want anonymous, or we don't want anybody to be on the website that could somehow misrepresent themselves and lead you astray. I mean, the internet is an amazing thing. It's so full of people that are creating a rosy picture about life that the people that are telling the truth are considered liars, and the people that are lying are believed to tell the truth, because we learn to think that a well-polished video or a well-polished website is more reputable than a guy that's dead. But the truth is, things that are boring, like things that professors write, change the world. Things that are highly polished and promoted do change the world, but do they change it for the better? So what we want to do is we want you to learn. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we're separating the different levels. We're going to give different levels. Like, you're going to have the Master Traveler or the Real Traveler. We'll come up with better names, and hopefully this will evolve to be fun. But what we want to know is, like, if a person's really living in Lake Atalan, that they're answering the question, and not like I mean, you can get on Thorntree. I remember when I went to Iraq, and there was businesses trying to push the idea that you needed bodyguards. So these bodyguard guys would get on the Thorntree and say you'll get killed in seconds, whatever, blah blah, if you go to Iraq. And you know, I had to just have a leap of faith, because everybody that was working the website at that time on Thorntree was the indirect salesman for somebody else. Now, this is a very, very common practice. I mean, it's so common that I don't know if some of these magazines, like travel magazines, I think they actually, almost every article is paid to be in there. Well, that's just somebody talking with an authority that supposedly do it. Like, I get offers where if I would write about this website, they'll pay me $500, and I have to give them a recommendation. Now, I've always held true. I've never done this. Okay, I've recommended things that I was not 100% sure was correct. But what we want you to do is we want you to prove first that you're a person. People that are anonymous are more willing to scam you than people that are honest, okay? Because they can be held accountable. And if somebody gets on the website and did something that is dishonest, or I don't know, tries to do something bad in life. I mean, I'm not going to go into these words because people get irritated when I use these words, but there are people preying on your sons and daughters, families, and your grandfathers and your parents, whatever. And they're trying to find naive people in the thing, because it's a numbers game. They can go out there and they can hit 500 people, and all they got to do is get one silly person to sign up. I mean, this is the people that trust everybody. I finally realized I can't trust anybody on the internet. So what we're trying to do is try to vet you. We're trying to get it so that we're doing it. It's going to cost you $25. And it's the same as couch surfing. Couch surfing's in a big risk too. We're going to have couch surfing, house sitting, all these things put on the website. And we want you to know that the person that you're house sitting for, or the person that's coming to house sit, is a real person. Okay, I mean, this just seems logical, right? But truthfully, people will say, "Oh, come visit me, come visit me." Then you find out you can't get a hold of them. You don't want to travel all the way across the planet to go house sit and find out that the guy's he's gone. He says, "Oh, I'll just meet you at the airport," and boom, they have to commit. And in a way, this committal stuff is held accountable. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to make. You think that as soon as you stop being anonymous that you somehow become known to everybody. No, there's limits here. There's a privacy issue where we're trying to get you, well, we will stop you from exposing certain things like your birth date, you know, the exact, maybe the exact high school, the color of your favorite color, your dog, all these security questions that shouldn't be on the internet. But our goal is to put together two people that want to talk to each other and to let people know if the person really is qualified to talk. I mean, just because you write a travel article, we got people. I got an email today about a lady was offering to write articles. She's from India and she wants to write articles. It costs $10 an article, and she'll write this article. She does this research, and they call it content farms. And what happens is all they do is write this puffy, nice article, and then you can pay them $10 and you make money, right? So if I put it into SEO, search engine optimization, I will make money. So what happens is most people are just writing fun articles that are not irritating at all. Now, let's put it this way: when a person becomes the master traveler on this thing, to find out what this is all about, go to Hobo Traveler, go to the index, and then go down to the middle part where it says like research links or something, and the very first link on the left is 1 to 5 travel membership logo. Read that one. I'll put it also below this video in the comments, but if you read that, what we're trying to do is to find who has the ability to be a teacher. And so travel if you want to go to Nepal, climb up in the mountain, get up to the lower parts of Mount Everest, it's going to cost you, what, $3,000, $4,000. Should you be taking advice from somebody that isn't qualified? Think about it. How much money can you lose if I accidentally allow somebody to talk that is anonymous, selling a pig in a poke? Think how much. I mean, this is one of the most expensive things you spend money on each year is your vacation. And I feel morally, ethically responsible. I'm really worried about the people that want to retire in places like Lake Atalan, where I'm at, or in Chiang Mai, Thailand, or whatever, on any of the 100 websites. I really, really don't want you to go those places, take your life savings, sell your house, take $300,000 to buy a house at age 65, and then hate the place. Just think how sad that is. People do this daily. They read these puppy dog sites where everybody says everything's great, and then they get there and they think everything's great, and then a month later they realize, wow, did they screw up? And then they don't want to admit it because they got to sell the house, right? So then it takes another 7 years to sell the house. Bottom line is, some of the biggest investments you'll ever make, or in vacations or retirement or something, are coming from travel writers. But they're coming from people that are not vetted, that are not proven to be smart enough to write what they're doing. Just because you start a travel blog doesn't mean you're at the top of your game. It just means you like to write, right? So, bottom line is, I sit in these paradise locations. I've been traveling for 14 years. I've lived in 90 countries. And if you ask me what do I know about Sri Lanka, I don't know anything. I've never been there. I know a little bit. I think they got we even have a website in Sri Lanka, but I don't know much about it. I have to you know, but I do know people that have gone there. Okay, but I can tell you cheap flights certainly, but I have limits, right? But somehow we have to make a vetting process where you can weigh the value of the reader. And this is why you need to pay the $25. What it does is first it sends it to your house. Now, there is a caveat here. If a guy's a real traveler, how do we send it to his house? Well, truthfully, almost 99% of us can get mail somehow. You could send a letter to me, and I'll eventually get it. Then what you do is you're going to get this letter in the mail, and it's going to be sent to you. I could send it to Andy Graham at 9545 West, Orland, Indiana, whatever. I'd receive that letter. Inside it would be a code. I'm going to send these out first of all, until we get this automated, right from the country I'm coming from. And then when you get this code, you'll enter into a website that says, yep, that's you, because you could only receive mail at your address. Now, we can go further, and we could use your credit card things and stuff like that. And, credit, we could do criminal records. So we could do all sorts of stuff. We're not trying to invade your life. We're just trying to make sure that you're really not preying on people, because we feel morally responsible.